Kazuya early, because MuteAce will have to use the Peach to deal with it, and I don't think he wants to. But no Kazuya to start this one off, I think. Who's that hiding behind the player cam? It's Sora.
It's Sora. That's what we're going to see. But not right off the bat. It is going to be the Roy to start things out. I'm interested to see how this matches up, especially against a combo-heavy character like Bayonetta. And, of course, I would think that Mute has had some decent matchup experience against Roy, both in his past and present. But Kurama's Roy apparently a different beast.
He is just swinging that sword, keeping MuteAce in the corner, and a jab back air, but not the sweet spot. So not going to be able to close out the stock, and finally MuteAce manages to get a connection. Forces an early air dodge, but is unable to capitalize on it. Bat within, gets him down. Once again, do it one more time.
All right, down tilt, though, setting up on that platform. Not able to get anything too big off of it, though. I was kind of expecting maybe Mute to set up a tech chase or something, to be honest.
Ooh, another jab, but another non-sweet spotting jab. Kurama been having a hard time connecting with the critical hit that'll close out the stock. But okay, a wayward up smash from MuteAce is going to put him in enough lag that Kurama can just walk up slowly and control everything to close that out. Now against the Palu, well, the Roy doesn't survive very long at all, and we're right back to even.
The kill confirms from Mute's Palu have been very, very clean. I've been talking a lot about how maybe the Bayonetta doesn't have like all of the crazy creative kill confirms, but the Palu has been able to keep it so simple, and dare I say, with the Sora on screen, clean as well. And that would have sounded a lot better if I didn't stutter in the middle of the one-liner.
Interesting, interesting. Down throw quickly from MuteAce, going to try and set up a corner pressure situation, but Kurama ends up getting out from underneath, only taking a little bit of damage in the process.
Let's see if Kurama is going to be able to cleave down against this Palutena. Got to rack up that damage, and against a taller character like Palu, especially with that, you know, mid to lower weight, the big body is what's important here, and I think that especially once you start getting to kill percentages, that's going to be a really big advantage for Kurama, but you do have to get her there in the first place, and I think that losing out on the opportunity to have those reliable kill confirms with Sora would be a really big detriment.
111%. MuteAce should be able to close this out in the next couple hits, but Kurama's been playing this neutral very carefully ever since he managed to reclaim center stage. He has not been hit in a minute. Finally connecting with the back air there. But a down low thunder, and he just air dodges straight up into that explosive flame, and MuteAce is going to have ages to position himself to punish that down air.
I mean, he has just got all the time in the world to just line it up with that down air, and it's not like that hitbox is particularly big either. Speaking of big, though, Kurama's got a chance to do it with this Mario and come up big. Was looking for the quick stock to take. A couple of wayward up Bs out of shield have given Mute opportunities where, I mean, normally Palu can kind of struggle in scrambles, especially against these more brawler boxing kind of characters. But, I mean, in that situation, Kurama really just didn't get punished too hard.
No, and that's kind of a huge detriment for MuteAce, but also like a big boon for Kurama, because it's going to tell him that, okay, I can keep getting a little bit more risky with some of my my attempts at advantage state, because MuteAce isn't going to kill me for it. He's not going to be able to just like close it out instantaneously if I make one mistake. And so, now that I can get a little bit more risky, I might be able to just close it out in one hit.
Can I point out something that I'm not sure if this is what happened? I'd love for somebody to go back to the VOD and confirm this for me or not. I think MuteAce did a recovery earlier where he ledge canceled from the opposite direction, where he was coming on stage and hit the warp on the ledge and was able to jump away from Kurama. Still got hit for it, but if he's able to be that precise, that's terrifying.
Terrifying indeed, but like MuteAce certainly known for precise gameplay, and that grab yoinked him from like a mile away. I did not think that should have hit. MuteAce getting up aired. It's the Mario Classic.
Good reaction to DI out.
Hit Mario, you're in your wedding outfit. You should not be doing this.
On the day of my daughter's wedding. Ooh, looking for that forward tilt just to reset the ledge trap, but Mute actually pulling out that roll. It's one of those options where you think, oh, like roll from ledge is so punishable, but Mute pulling it out at just the right time, trying to time that golf club swing at the ledge, not finding it though. This game one really coming down to the wire, and again, getting to see that with both of these high-level players' mains.
And these games are taking a while, too. Take a look at the timer. We're already almost at the 5-minute mark, and it's not because like any of these guys are camping. It's just because they're so precise and so difficult to kill that they last, well, forever. But this one's done now as MuteAce falls down to the earth with an air and takes game number 1.
And able to launch Kurama away, taking the first game. And again, we are talking about the 1 seed who maybe has a mosquito around him. Or he's just describing something that happened in game, but it looks like... You think that's his Fortnite dance?
The rhythm took him.
Well, I mean, again, I really doubt that we're going to see Mute change up the character selection. I kind of doubt that we're going to see Kurama do it either, because his has been relatively consistent over the course of this bracket as well.
He's been swapping in that 3rd slot. He's been like, Sora, Corrin, Kazuya, and a couple others. Come on.
Kazuya may not
but it's
be
always
fun to
been
play
Roy
against.
and Mario.
Fun to watch.
Meta Knight.
No, he doesn't have that.
You think he doesn't got it like that?
Well, I wouldn't pull it out in Squad Strike.
Joker. Okay, so we saw this at the very beginning of Top 8 Winner Side.
Yes, we
and
did.
then he died instantly and never touched the character again.
He never came back.
So, making another appearance in that 3rd slot for Kurama. He's going to sit firmly in the middle of his roster. So opening up with the Roy, anchoring with the Mario. We'll see what he can do this time around, or if it'll go the same way and we won't see much Joker at all.
All depends on how this set goes. I'm curious. I guess we're going to find out soon enough. But do you know if Joker gets to start with a little bit of Rebel's Guard if he's not in the lead position?
No, actually.
Because if he does, it's strictly optimal to just put him at least 2nd, if not an anchor, right? But
comeback mechanics are always very weird in Squad Strike because it always treats you as if you're on same stock, final stock. Like, so example for Lucario's Aura or like for Sephiroth's Wing. Lucario's Aura sucks in squads. Sephiroth's Wing is great in squads, and it's like 2 very different sides of the same coin.
Robin's a weird one as well, right? With the way that the
with the way the books respawn.
Yeah, you would expect it to be one way, and then it's kind of not. Yeah, Squad Strike is just not always exactly what you expect, but because it has that nuance, right? It is a mode that you have to take seriously in its own right. Mute saying, yeah, okay, you want to sour spot down tilt me? That's fine. I'm just going to continue to see if I hit you off stage with Witch Twist.
And he's going through what I like to call the Bayonetta circus off stage, where they can just stall down there forever. Kind of pioneered for a while by Death Spade, but all the Bayos do it sometimes.
I like the retort from Kurama, though. He goes, okay, like, you're going to look for this stupid stuff.
Oh, no, he almost died there.
He says, look, I got the ledge trapping. What are you going to do about this? Like, eventually you have to come off the ledge. You're not going to be able to stay out there forever. Come deal with my Roy. I want to see what your answer is going to be. How are you going to respond? And so far, Mute is not. He's saying, I want to see if Kurama will come to me.
Gonna do a little bit more damage with Auto Reticle in the meantime. Trying to catch Kurama panicking and rolling away. But okay, it's Kurama's turn.
Kind of feels like it's been his turn the entire time this Palu's been out so far. I mean, Mute has just kind of been loath to go in and give Kurama a big opening like this where something crazy can happen. Sour spot up there is not going to lead into anything, though. This is time for that Palutena ledge trapping to come and show its shine, and shine it does with that dash attack.
Time to find out.
Right back to even.
No
Rebels gauge.
Okay.
As I think it probably should be. I think that probably seems about right.
So Joker coming in with no advantage. Going to have to build that beater up the old-fashioned way by taking a beating.
Yeah. This is just like Persona 5. I don't know if it is. I haven't.
It's just like Persona 5.
Okay, that's cool. I would expect it to be given the mechanics and all. But let's see, yeah, Palu Joker, we're getting 2 top tiers going at it right now. And again, we haven't seen too much of the Joker from Kurama. Like, the one time it came out, it just didn't last very long. And I'm very interested to see how this approaches, I think particularly the way that Palu is able to control that space that's close to the ground, but not, like, way up in the air. Because that's normally where Joker likes to play a lot of mix-up game, right? But Palu's kind of able to stuff that out a lot with the fairs, the bears, the nairs, stuff like that.
I'm significantly more impressed with Kurama's Joker than I was the last time we saw it. He's doing quite a bit of work, going to try and catch MuteAce recovering to ledge with that falling back air, but snaps onto ledge just a little bit too quickly, and now we're going to start seeing that Arsene meter get shredded by Palutena Nair. No, okay, trades it out with the back air, chasing MuteAce down.
Roll on stage, yeah, caught immediately. It's so difficult to deal with those walls of Arsene back airs because it's a move that comes out quick, it ends quick, and of course it hits like a truck. I have a lot of anxiety going up against that move. But Mute, we're
Scary.
going to see if he is able to put that to rest with the Peach right now. 103 on the Joker. If he is able to secure this stock with a somewhat reliable confirm at the ledge or just catch a roll with something like the back air, needs to be sweet spot though. Maybe doesn't need to deal with a second Arsene, but that would be massive for Kurama if he does.
Well, and Kurama can kind of just play this chip damage game, especially with the side B, especially once Arsene comes out, which he does now,
So smart.
because he's going to be able to just continuously throw those side Bs at MuteAce, and if they hit, that's 20% more for free. Uh-oh.
Ooh, great DI out by MuteAce. Knowing how much rage Kurama had, you would have to give him that confirm for that to come through, and did not give it to him. But at 65%, with Arsene still hanging around for a little bit longer, could be scary. Dash attack didn't cross up though.
And fair one drag down, but no follow-up.
Couple of drops on either end, but Kurama really coming out on top in this one. This is already feeling like another one of those sets where it's just going to go to game 5.
We're going to have another game 5.
It feels like it. Unless Mute has something to say about it right now. That's not a stitch, but it will be a start.
Squad Strike will literally never end, chat. We are here until the grand finals of singles.
We have been commentating for the entire length of the solar eclipse that happened today.
Yeah, we missed it.
We missed the entire eclipse. I'm a little mad about that.
I'm adding that to my invoice to CACT. It's like,
I missed a once-in-a-lifetime
eclipse.
event, yeah. Extra $50, please.
How much is a solar eclipse worth to you?
Priceless.
How do you add that to an invoice then? Kurama trying to chase MuteAce up high.
Ooh, I love using that cape to just try and set up for that ledge trump. Misspacing the grab, though. This is giving Mute an opportunity to get back into this one again at 100. Stray hits are going to start being really dangerous for Kurama soon, and Mute is just not going to go anywhere near him because, again, he knows I misspaced one thing on that shield. I'm eating an up smash, and this game is oval.
And he's just standing there, but Kurama is going to take the opportunity of MuteAce standing there doing nothing to dash in and grab.
Ooh, great use of the float and then the double jump too. Spacing so precise. Kurama deep off stage. Mute on ledge traps is so scary.
But he's still got to find a way to close it out, and it is going to be the back air. So from all the way behind, MuteAce going to be able to close it out and bring us to a 2-0 scoreline rather than the 1-1 that he was staring down the barrel of.
Never, ever doubt the ability for MuteAce to quash whatever momentum you have once that Peach comes out. And it just goes to show, right? You're watching Squad Strike, you see what just one stock of Peach is able to do on its own, and then think about singles where Mute has 3 of those dang things. My
And
goodness.
that is why MuteAce is so scary.
He is very scary.
There's something going on in singles over there. I see a massive crowd gathering around to set up.
I would bet it has something to do with Louisiana.
Yeah.
They tend to have one of the loudest crowds in Smash.
We're going to find out, we're going to get off commentary. It's going to turn out that, Mia is game 5 with, a SoCal meat gunner.
Aimer?
I don't know.
Shout out Saber. I was just able to think of a SoCal me gunner.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Put that on the JV grid. Wow.
All right, to the pit now.
He is,
Another interesting choice.
He is really digging deep. But all right, no, I have no doubt that Kurama's pit is probably sick. Because I've said before that Kurama is easily one of my favorite players to watch. And honestly, I like watching some good pit gameplay.
Oh, the crowd is popping off, so something has happened.
Something has happened. I hope somebody comes over and tells me what exactly that is.
Mia
Meanwhile,
is out of the bracket at 256.
don't lie to the people.
MK Leo got 513.
That would be your fault.
I'm fired, chat. It's over.
Help me. We have to keep
Now
you
I
up
really
to date
need
on
that,
what is happening before your very eyes.
I really need that solar eclipse bonus.
I'm going to be thinking about that all day. At least we get another one next year. Oh, MuteAces!
Oh my god,
Not
chat actually
able to
believed
finish
me.
his food.
No, Mia is not out. MK Leo is not out.
You have to realize your words have power.
Yeah, but
You can't just
it's not
lie
my
like
fault.
that.
I absolutely can.
It really isn't your fault is the thing. The people should know better to not trust what you have to say.
I'm literally always right and always truthful.
Okay.
And right now, back to the game.
I'm leaving you out to dry. You wanna
And back to the game.
lift yourself up, lift us even higher.
92% to 140% MuteAce, currently holding on to a little bit of a lead, but it is kind of difficult for Bayonetta to close out these stocks.
Now, we've beaten it into the ground at this point. That is not the purview of Mute's Bayonetta. However, that dash attack is enough. Again, you build up enough damage, you're going to be able to take a KO eventually. That's exactly what he's done. And now, Pit trying to combo Bayonetta, that just seems impossible. Nothing's true in the first place, and also everything's multi-hit.
Everything gets not witch time, bat within. Within it.
That is a weird thing to try and say, but we're gonna have to see if
it
Kurama
activates bat within.
It does activate bats within. I love the custom movement on these arrows as well, just whooping them around all over the stage. Straight back air, not enough. Phenomenal DI by Mute right there. He's able to get back to the ledge. And this is honestly for Kurama right now, I feel like a spacing game, right? You don't really have any confirms available to you at this point, so you just have to see if you can get a back air, forward tilt at that percent. You saw him go for an up smash as well. Really just anything raw at that point can do it. Now up against the Palu, though, you've got an opportunity to put on that big damage. I want to see what Kurama's got cooking in this pocket pit.
We're going to have to see. As he does manage to connect with the down tilt in air to put MuteAce at the ledge, he's going to be able to loop this around for a lot more damage if he plays his cards right. He is going to continue to stay in that advantageous situation. Ooh, nothing yet.
Yeah, I thought that honestly Mute would have something big cooking right there, but whenever a Palu hits a down air, I always feel like there's going to be something crazy afterwards. She just doesn't really have the tools to totally delete a stock like that unless it's at 100, 110, then maybe you can get an up air afterwards.
Ooh, quick little spot dodge. I thought that grab should have hit because the spot dodge looked late to me.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Pit does not have the greatest grab range in the world. Quick little rapid jab going to put him off stage.
Okay, and dash attack is set up for a juggle, but you have to be mindful of those many jumps. Mute trying to go for the big call out. Kurama's going to fire back himself instead.
Coming back onto the stage, though, quickly gets up onto that platform, and Kurama likes doing that. It was a problem that he had versus Louis Money earlier because Louis started to call it out pretty hard, but MuteAce has not done so quite yet, where he just goes up to those platforms and then holds shield because it's a lot harder to get into position to grab him from there.
Yeah, really hasn't been able to negate all that stuff that has been giving him the difficulty in those situations in particular. Right now, though, Kurama trying to get his feet back on solid ground. Again, we're right back in straight hit territory where for either of these characters, it's just going to be not a combo game, but just something that gets that kill eventually. 173, yeah, Mute eventually gets that dash attack center stage, but, definitely pays testament to the amount of work that Pit was able to put in, because that was the situation with Mute's previous character. This is setting up this Mario for a pretty solid end game, so long as it is able to take on that terrifying Peach of MuteAce, which is still in the back and has been virtually unstoppable this entire bracket. We'll see if Kurama is able to properly stop it, or if this is going to end up being a 3-0 for Texas's finest.
Quick little back air up tilt from Kurama. He's starting to build up that damage, but we all know how quickly this can go by the wayside if Mute gets his hands on him, and he does just that. 52 in but a moment. Uh-oh.
Oh,
no!
Kurama, no. Okay.
He had a double jump. He's fine.
He did have his double jump. I was afraid that it wasn't enough. Spacing did not get hit by the parasol as Mario is reeling back and then put out the hot hand to finish it. Like I said, I still feel like this is going to Game 5.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of my lungs and vocal cords.
We are going to be going into game number 4 first, though, before we make our way to game 5, as that is how numbers work most of the time. And the Pit is staying. So I guess Kurama has deemed him worthy to remain on the roster where so many other characters have been unceremoniously booted, at least down to the JV team. High school sports is brutal.
The Pit honestly put in work that if I'm Kurama, I'm happy with it. We were talking about this with Beats Bayonetta earlier, where I think that in Squad Strike, if you have a character that is there to be a reliable damage output kind of character, that has a role to play in Squad Strike, where as your other two can be, neutral monsters and really reliably take those stocks. I think that the Pit can absolutely be that for Kurama in a situation where I think that he has had some trouble really just kind of stopping Mute from running away in a couple of situations, especially with the Peach. And the Pit can just kind of guarantee that things are going to stay close.
Yeah, but the Roy has been also a pretty big damage dealer for Kurama. and has been quiet so far in the first 40 seconds of this game. Has gotten a little bit of damage against the Bayonetta, but a lot less than has been frequent in the past. Quick little back air, though, off of the parry.
Ooh, this is that ledge trapping, though. Kurama with this Roy has been really, really hard to get past. And this is...
wow.
That's what we saw Mute try to do, was just sit on the ledge last time with those witch twists. This time, Kurama came back with an answer. I'm going to jab that. I'm going to get my back air. I'm going to take the lead.
Very well played from him. And just as I was starting to say that the Roy hadn't gotten too much going, he managed to take that stock quick and puts us just one more step closer to another Game 5.
Carrying him right up with those up airs. Not able to follow up on those platforms, though. MuteAce's DI made it so that there wouldn't be anything too crazy. Taking that DI to center stage doesn't mean that you have the safety of ledge, but it does mean that that combo is going to end eventually. You're going to be able to fire back, but so far, Mute not able to take that stock with this Palu, and that's kind of been one of the reasons it's on this roster, is that it can very reliably snag one.
And Mute also struggling significantly more on the ledge against Kurama. On both sides of it. He's not getting any big punishes off of ledge traps, and he's not getting off of ledge successfully very often without taking damage. And when those two things come together, it's a very bad thing for little MuteAce, but the tri-state twist close out the stock, and that is going to bring out the pit once more.
Well, this time we see Kurama fighting with this pit in a bit of a different situation. Now he is the one that is trying to, not just do damage, but to take a stock with this pit and really set up that endgame for the Mario, not even having to go into that Mario with that extra credit done on him. Now he can take the lead and continue to roll with it. But Mute, yeah, he was looking to fire back, but there is that back air cover and that neutral get up at the ledge. Kurama right back into it on the back of this pit. I'm also very excited to see the pit go up against the Peach.
Yeah, we didn't get to see it at all last game as the pit was kind of unceremoniously dealt with the swiftness, but now is actually holding on to a lead, if only a slight one. 42%, now 53, doing very good at comboing off of these nairs and dragging down with them as well. Trying to catch MuteAce jumping with that arrow.
Full stock ahead. I think your job right now playing this pit is, again, just be reliable, put out some damage, and keep things close so that the stock doesn't get deleted. And that way you don't have to put a ton of stress on the Mario at the end.
Back though here, going to set up for an edge guard or a ledge trap, but this time Kurama doesn't get so lucky with his hurt box shifting, so he is going to get caught by that parasol as it rises to the stage.
Ooh. I love the use of the Guardian Orbitars as well on that landing, especially when somebody wants to very aggressively juggle you to get back into a game. It's a good way to stifle a little bit of that momentum.
Looking for a nair there and finds it, puts Kurama off stage. He needs to take the stock now, and that's going to be it. A quick little Z-drop fair following all the way out. Out comes the Mario, but MuteAce certainly has the damage to get it done.
All right, though, this Mario, we have seen it put in some work. And again, I was saying that this feels like it's going to a Game 5. Mute is the one that will have to prove me wrong right here. Sitting at 86%. Could get scary, but we're talking about MuteAce. You know he has those on deck every single day of the week. And that stock was there one moment and gone the next.
And he's in more disbelief than Kurama is. Look.